Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? It's your boy Miles Cunningham. I am here with Rashidi Lucario from Oh shit. RKT Appraisals.
There we go.
RKT Appraisals. I'm like, what's it? Yo, bro, let me tell you something. We just came back from Miami and stuff. And like you ever had one, you ever like went, I'm sure you have, but you ever went out to like a conference or some shit and you was just busy the whole fucking time?
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, it wasn't no vacation at all. Don't none of y'all think it was some type of vacation, my nigga. Like Lucario and myself, we was working the whole time, like literally the whole time. If we wasn't eating or sleeping, we was working, like straight up. So yeah, man. But yeah, I'm here with Rashidi from RKT Appraisals. Remember to recall, Rashidi 973-420-5028 to really get on your money game, man. And today what we're talking about is, is the fact that it looks like we in a recession, man. It looks like things are, kind of slowing down as far as the economy, man. And look, man, it's y'all Democrats' fault because y'all put Biden back. Y'all put Biden in office. We had a perfectly good president. Now let me stop because I know most people don't agree with me, but I feel like, honestly, I'm gonna just say it. I feel like we had a perfectly decent president in Trump. Like he may not be the nicest guy, or he may not win, character of the year, because he do be lying from time to time. I get it. But nigga, the economy was right. Gas prices was low and everything was all right. Like my money looked right when Trump was in office. As soon as Biden came in office, I noticed a slight dip in everything. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like this. I'd rather work for a company where the boss is an asshole, but my checks come on time and my Christmas bonus is fat. You understand? But my boss is an asshole. Rather than I'm trying to find a nice boss, a mild-mannered boss, and the company's going under. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, so there's a recession, and my man Rashidi Lucario is he's here to talk about being careful with your money in face of a recession, man. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the numbers is showing a recession is coming potentially next year at this point, man.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where you got to just look around yourself. Everybody's watching their pockets except the actual individual people, and that's a problem. You look at it right now with the housing market, the banks, the interest rates went up. The average interest rate is like 5% right now. People getting 6% interest rates right now. Remember, just back in March, as early as the first week in March, interest rates are still as low as 2.5, 2.4.
Right.
Literally almost double. So if the banks are watching their pockets, that means you should be watching your pockets. As we clearly know, like you said before, the gas prices is going up. Gas where I'm at is like $4.67 right now. Just a year ago or even earlier this year, was like in the low threes, things like that. I mean, everything is going up. You know what I mean? The stats are showing small businesses losing money and going out of business. And if you look at it, all those small businesses and regular businesses is actually upping their prices on everything. If you notice, everything you pay buy right now costs more money, even groceries.
Yes,
groceries cost way higher. A gallon of milk is over $5 in most places. You know what I mean? Some places, the local supermarkets might be $7 a gallon for a thing of milk. So the point is, everybody raised their prices. Everybody kind of prepping themselves for potential recession coming up. So us as individuals got to really start being mindful and not spending money willy-nilly at this point. It's one of those things where we all got to like really just take it easy, look for sales, look for real deals, save what you can, while at the same time try to increase your income. Because also a lot of jobs are about to start slowing down on the hiring process like how they've been doing before. And a lot of jobs are starting to like tail back on overpaying people, because before jobs couldn't really find people that want to work, and that's still the case, but they starting to balance it out between working from home and then at the same time they trying to not pay people as much money, starting to curve it back a little bit. So that means us as individuals, we really got to start being mindful, get this money where we can, while at the same time just be mindful how you're spending everything. Like treat every dollar like it's your last penny.
Damn. So that's crazy though, man, because it's like if they raising all the prices, people ain't got no money. So how does that even work anyway? Generally, like, I mean, I'm sure people still gonna buy shit, but it's like that's just gonna make shit worse, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, if people can't afford shit, then how are those businesses gonna be able to stay open or to stay doing what they do? You know what I'm saying? And then isn't that gonna be like a domino effect of like all of this shit fucking up, like all this craziness going down? You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. I mean, to your point, actually, to answer your question directly, Ms. Locari, what happens is all the shady tactics is out right now for all businesses. Stuff that they don't tell you about. You know what I mean? Raising prices, trying to sweet talk you into buying stuff or overpaying for this. Little stuff they're not telling you about a product that might not work down the line. They're not going to tell you because they want you to buy the product. Crime is up right now. We all know New York City right now, crime is up like back in the 90s. Crime is up everywhere. That's why people kill themselves and shoot up people. Yeah, crime is. The shootings are crazy. The shootings are way up right now everywhere. Like it's because remember, people can't afford to pay for stuff, so naturally, what people do rob people. That's the reality of the situation. People can't afford stuff. They have bad attitudes. Everything is going crazy right now. If you really look around and pay attention to the news and stuff like that.
Damn, man, it's like that shit is whack because it's like, yo, as soon as motherfuckers started making money, you know what I'm saying? This shit got to go down. You know what I mean? So like, what are some of the things that, so you're saying people could get like, try to save some money, get a extra job or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, what else can people do? You think that's going to help them out in the long run? You know what I'm saying? Because how long do you think this type of shit's going to last though? You see what I'm saying? Like this type of recession type of situation.
I mean, it's going to last at least a couple of years, man. At this rate, it's going to last at least a couple of years. It won't be as bad as the recession before because nobody wants to go back to that how bad that was. But it's going to be like that because at the end of the day, like I said, all the businesses are going to be up in prices, trying to sell you on stuff. Simple stuff like just the other day, my pops went to go get get his car, his oil change done. He had to get his brakes done. They charged the extra $140 more than they normally would charge. So I had to call him. So little stuff like that where they see you come in. He's an older dude with a decent looking car. Like, oh, I'm gonna charge this person full retail with no discounts, and I'm gonna try to put a little more on top of it. And if you don't question it, you don't know. You just think that's the price. You just got hit for extra money. So little things like that, just as simple as that, how business is going to do different practices to kind of maintain and try to stay profitable and try to stay afloat.
Wow. I just looked it up. It says the analysis of the cycles since the 1950s shows that recessions have lasted between 8 and 18 months with the average spanning 11 months. That's what we're looking at. 8 to 18 months with an average of 11. So at least a year.
Jesus Christ.
At least a year of like a downturn. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's fucked up. So we just came out of the pandemic, sort of, because it's getting a little, it's getting, it's not as bad as it was, but now this is happening. So it's always some shit right after the other. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Damn. So basically, so who's going to get hit harder with this? Is this going to be the average everyday person who's going to have to deal with this shit? Is it because like, I'm thinking like the people who, let's say making over 6 figures or have a business that's thriving or whatever, like, are they going to be like fucked up too? Or is it going to be like, it's going to be everybody because everybody's in the whole fucking thing. So the business is probably not going to get as much business. The 9-to-5 people, maybe there's going to be some people getting laid off or some people making less money. You feel what I'm saying? Man, that's wild though. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. So I guess people there can't be as much tricking going on in people.
Yeah, right. What's going to happen to OnlyFans models? What's going to happen to them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like what's going to happen with all that shit? Because that's what I always wondered. I always wondered like, the things that people are paying for that they would consider like luxuries and shit. Do you think that more people are going to stop paying for those? Or do you think people will continue to pay for it because they want luxury and pleasure in times like these? Like, what's your opinion on that shit?
No, I mean, it's going to be a combination of both. So, I mean, to your point, something like that, where something that's considered a luxury, you know what I mean? Someone's going to now kind of try to bargain with them. Like, listen, I'm paying all this money for this. I need a better deal.
Right.
Like, people going to start asking for better deals now. Like, all right, you charge me $200 for this service, but now I come to you all the time. If you can't do something better, like maybe 170, I might have to go somewhere else. And in that business or that service is going to have to make a decision. Right. Am I going to drop my prices or am I going to stay right here? And if they choose not to drop their prices, you're probably going to lose that customer and start losing more customers. And if you don't keep up with it, you're going to be under the water by the time you catch on or stop trying to hold on to each dollar and not get with the times. So to your point, that's exactly what's going to happen. People are going to have to start really negotiate. People are going to start negotiating way more. They're not going to want to pay top dollar for it because at the end of the day, everybody knows everybody's pockets tight all around the world. And honestly, you know what I mean? This affects everybody. The only people it really doesn't affect is wealthy people. Rich people still going to affect them the same way because honestly, high middle class people still get taxed crazy. So it's going to be affecting everybody. It's only people that's really rich and on the borderline of wealthy. You know, 6 figures ain't even enough. A person making $100,000 this year is like a person, making like 45, 50,000 before. You know what I mean? Like, so it's way different now. Right. 6 figures ain't even enough no more, to be honest with you.
And Jug Season says inflation going up. Yeah, that's another thing. Inflation itself, because the value of the dollar has also gone down by more than 8%, damn 10%. So it's definitely crazy out here, man.
Damn. So these nuts said, "How do you feel about getting these guns?" What do you mean these nuts? I don't understand. Getting guns for what? What do you mean? Okay, do you think like something's gonna happen with recession that you gonna need some more guns because motherfuckers gonna try to rob you and shit? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. You feel what I'm saying? so let's say a person. Do you think that within a recession, is this the good time for a person to try to start a business? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, the thing is, when it comes to that one, man, I mean, that's a tough one. Truth be told, it is a good time to start a business, but only if you're actually disciplined, only if you know what you're doing, only if you have some type of expertise level in whatever business you're starting. This is not the time to start a random clothing line that you've been dreaming of and then doing research. You know what I mean? Like, that's
you got to start a business that's a necessity that people need right now, or maybe a business that people need because of the recession.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like something, what they call something that's recession proof.
Right.
Exactly.
Like something that people need regardless. Like no matter how broke you get, you need this. So you're gonna have to pay me for it type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's crazy.
That's fucked up. So my thing is this. If let's say you are a person who, you have a 9-to-5 or whatever, you got kids, you know what I'm saying? You're probably married or some shit. And then this recession is making it tougher for you because you can't get no part-time jobs. Maybe you wanted to make some extra money, or your job is cutting back and they not paying you as much and all this other stuff, right? And so my thing is, because we always talk about like credit, right? So is this a time to get some credit cards and shit? Like, is this like, do you think that it's a smart thing to do now at this point if the recession's popping off?
To be honest with you, it's not necessarily a smart thing to get a whole bunch of credit cards. Some people, you always only gonna have max about 4 credit cards because you got to keep up all those payment dates and all those balances.
Right.
So this is the time where you want to get your credit together because to your point, Ms. Lucario, fraud is at an all-time high. You are getting hacked all the time. You'd be surprised. The average person gets hacked at least once a month on a small scale. Somebody using your email address, trying to get a password on a little scale. So credit is huge right now because, like I said, a lot of companies are not going to trust you. If your credit's not on point, companies are not trusting you because you're just too much of a high risk.
Right.
And the companies that will trust you, they're going to kill you with the interest rate because they're taking that risk, and now they can get away with charging you 20% for something random. You know what I mean? So it definitely is a time where credit is huge. You know what I mean? Knowing how to use those credit cards if you do get them is huge. But yeah, this is that time now. I will say that on a serious note.
And so, and what about like, things that are affected by the markets? Because the markets are very low, meaning that stocks are cheap. Everything on the market is cheaper right now. So what do you feel about that? Like, invest, in what should you do with your money as far as stocks and, the life insurance policies, the mutual funds? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, when it comes to the stocks, that's also can be risky depending on what type of stocks you get into.
Right.
What I'll tell people is, to your point, Miles, with the life insurance policies, that's the best bet, because you can overfund your life insurance policy, as you well know, and make a crazy amount of money.
Right.
The average life insurance policy, index life insurance policy, the first year you get about 3 to 5% of interest,
right,
tax free. You can borrow from that policy. And so that's what all the rich people do, is they invest in life insurance policies. Because
right,
literally you could be in a situation where you buy a life insurance policy. It doesn't need to cost $1 million. The average person get a life insurance policy, depending on their health, get a life insurance policy for maybe $150,000 face value. You mean that's the limit that you pay out, and your payments might be $100 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And you might put in an extra $50 a month,
mm-hmm.
and in a 2-year period, you could borrow $5,000. A 10-year period, you could borrow $40,000. Tax free, meaning you don't pay tax. It's better than the 401k, because the minute you take out the 401k, you get taxed, and you can get a 10% penalty when you do your taxes at tax time. So life insurance is truly the key. It's the safest way to go into to follow the stock market, because that's how life insurance make their money, is on the stock market, and you're a part of it through the life insurance policy. So that truly is the best bet.
Right. And somebody named Wealthy as a Mind Frame, he says whole life insurance is a scam.
I like that one, because that's false. It's only a scam if you don't know what you're talking about, or the people selling you that policy doesn't know what they're talking about.
Right.
There are always pros and cons for a whole life policy. A whole life policy, there are a lot of good benefits. You can borrow from it. The difference from a whole life policy and the policy I was talking about, index policy, it goes to the stock market. You don't lose much money, and you can overfund it and get way more money back. Whole life is still good. You can still borrow from a whole life policy. Mm-hmm. The main thing from the whole life policy is that if you use $50,000 and you got $150,000 policy, if you're able to borrow that much, you don't have to, you don't pay yourself back. So you just left with $100,000. But no, whole life policy is not a scam. It's just that most people who sell life insurance just try to sell you anything, because most people, let's be honest, nobody cares about life insurance.
Right.
Nobody takes it seriously about to die, and that's when they say, all right, let's get a policy. So the truth is, most people selling you the policy is just trying to sell you anything.
Right.
And unfortunately, with less information, you don't know any better. You just buy it to say you got something, and the other person just sold it to say they sold something. So that's the reality of the situation.
Real quick, what does the acronym IUL? Can you explain the letters?
Yeah. So that's from called an index policy.
But what's the U? What's the U and the L?
What's the U?
Yeah, see, I know
the L's of life, but it's index policy.
Yeah, you don't know what the U is though, huh?
Yeah, I forgot what the U is.
Yeah, come on, man. You represent RKT appraisals, nigga. Come on, man. Stop.
Listen. It don't matter what the U is. I can tell you how much money you could make off it, what you're gonna lose, what you're gonna gain, everything and above. The U is irrelevant.
The U is irrelevant.
I'm just saying. The U is universal. The U is universal. My bad. The U
is universal. Yeah. So all right. So check this out, guys. Understand something. Index universal life. What I would say is if you already paying on a life insurance policy, now is the time. If you have it, now is the time to max this shit out, meaning to overfund it. Now you can only overfund to a certain limit. They don't let you overfund. But like, for example, for the average policy, based on the experience I have, like if you're paying like $150, you could probably overfund to like $320. So that means you could double up and a little bit more, or whatever it is you're paying now. And the reason why it's a good thing to do it now is because it says index universal life index. That means, and right now the index is cheap because everything is down. We are in a recession. So that means everything these policies are invested on the stock market. So every time during this time, $100 that you put in now is buying up cheap stock.
Right.
Every time you invest into every month you pay on your insurance policy, you're investing into stocks that is valued low right now. So what happens is that, we go through this 18 month, 2-year recession. When shit start to come up, all that shit that you purchased during the low time is gonna depending on exponentially increase your yield or the return on your investments in your index universal life insurance policies. You understand? So truth be told, Lucario and myself, we got a situation, and I had our financial advisor put extra money into our shit. And he was like, yo, that's a good move because right now everything is so fucking low. You understand? He said the only thing we got to watch is to make sure we don't invest too much, and that might turn it into an annuity. But that's some other extra shit that that Rashidi probably know what I'm talking about. But the bottom line is, while everything is cheap, if you got the money, if you got a little bit, if you can look at your life insurance policy and you can afford to put in an extra $50, you're doing yourself a big favor, because when shit turn around, that's compounding on the money that you're investing right now. And remember, all of that's tax-free money if you decide to borrow on it. You understand what I'm saying? So I think, Wealthy as a mind frame said whole life insurance is a scam. And that might be, but what we're talking about is index universal life policy. You understand? Meaning that when you put money into it, it is invested on the stock market, just like a mutual fund. You understand? And same thing with your mutual funds. The only thing, you get taxed on your mutual funds if you take out before a certain age or some shit like that, right?
Correct. Yeah, before 59. Yeah.
Right, but it's still the same principle. Where if you overfund, or if you add more to what you put in on a monthly basis now during the downturn, when shit start to get expensive again later on, when the economy starts to recover, that money that you invested during the downtime, it increases on an exponential level with compound interest and all that type of shit. So if you got any extra money, man, put it into you might not want to put it in stocks necessarily, because in recessions, some of the stocks are going to fail. So you're going to lose money, but your index funds and your IUL life insurance policies will not. You understand? So I mean, not unless the whole shit fails, the whole financial index fails. You understand what I'm saying? So
they have and not to cut you, Miles, they have safety valves for that. So
right.
That's why it's one of those things where based off the first year, it ranges from like 3 to 5% depending on the policy. So they have safety valves where you don't lose money. And even further to your point, Miles, I like to put numbers towards people because a lot of times people don't understand stuff. To keep it fairly simple, one of the policies that I have, which is an IUL, I got it about 34 years old. I'm now 37 years old. It's $100,000 value. By me overfunding the policy $60 a month, extra $60 a month. Right now, I could borrow $6,000 from it. So I mathematically put into the policy only $3,000 over the past 3 years, but I now can borrow $6,000 from it, and that's me overfunding it. And 5 years from now, I can borrow $35,000.
Right.
What do you know that you can do that you can put away $150 a month and get $30,000 5 years later?
Right.
Those are real numbers. That's affordable.
Right.
And at the $89 a month that I'm paying, you know what I mean? If I don't overfund it, I can still borrow crazy numbers at the end of the day. The more you put in, the better. But if you afford to just do the bare minimum, you still get back a chunky piece of money.
Right.
You'll never get that in the bank. You'll never get that in a savings account. None of that. Nothing you do, and it's super safe. It's super safe. You can't knock it.
Right. And so recession is not a good thing. However, when it comes to stocks, mutual funds, indexes, life insurance, you have to think of it like your favorite store is having a blowout sale. You understand? So in a recession, that's basically what the stock market is doing. You understand? Now, King Yikes says, I can just buy my own index funds. Why buy a lame insurance policy? Well, again, life in index universal life insurance policy. When you borrow money from it, it's tax free. It's tax free. If you try to do your own index funds, if you take money out of it, they're gonna give you what's called the capital gains tax, where you're gonna get taxed 20%. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rashidi.
Correct. You're correct. And then more importantly for King is that at the end of the day, you can go ahead and invest and if you good at day trading and if you on top of your stuff with stock markets, all that type of stuff, by all means, that means you figured out the game to the highest level. And to be honest with you, no disrespect, King, when you find it out, let me know. That means if you can invest like that, that means you got the sauce. That's the reason why to do it. The life insurance broker is just saying, hey, it's safe. I'm going to make a good amount of percentage. I'm not going to lose a whole bunch of money. And I'm always going up. The way you talking about, if you figured out the game, you on top. So, and there's people out there that do that. The people that figure the game out, they making good money.
Yeah, but what's funny to me is that the people that really got the game figured out is not in this chat.
Right. This is a valid point.
Like I love when niggas love to talk shit, but they in the chat. Mm-hmm. They hanging out with me, a nigga that's still trying to figure it out, talking shit. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe it's a sincere question, and I'm not necessarily accusing King Yikes of talking shit. I'm just saying. Oh, look, this motherfucker. See, he got the game figured out. Then what you doing over here, bro?
Give me a call, please.
Yo, start your own show so I could be in your chat trying to ask questions, bro. The fuck?
These guys is funny out here. These guys are funny out here.
Wealthy as a mind from says, let's be real. The average black family still has the same wealth as they did back in 1972, and the wealth gap keeps growing. Okay, all right, but where's the solution though? Wealthy as a mind frame.
I mean, that's not even true though. Like that's
his fucking name, and
so we got somebody who's wealthy, and we got a king, but they're in a chat on a show getting 23 views live.
Listen, man, and to me, it's funny, man. It's all about knowledge. And to be quite honest with you, Wealthy, it's just a lack of knowledge. That's false, man. At the end of the day, black families are doing way better than they were doing back in the day. They have a lot more opportunities. The reality of the situation is that you see social media, and the ones that you see on social media is confusing you. Those are the ones not taking advantage of the opportunities. There's many black families that's taking advantage of all these opportunities. They just not blasting it on social media. So you're looking at the wrong stats. Stats show completely different right now.
Plus, we got a lot of strong, independent black females all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a joke, by the way.
That's stupid.
Shout out to all our strong, independent black women out there. You feel me? Who don't need no fucking man. You feel me?
You're a fool, right?
Yo, I love those memes when niggas show you a picture of the gas pump and they be like, "So do you not need no man now?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
man, shout out to all the strong, independent black women making their own money, doing their own thing. Who don't give a fuck about a nigga? You feel me?
Y'all stupid.
Man.
Damn. But shout out to the chat though. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the chat. No shade or nothing like that. Like, appreciate you being here. Because it allows us to bring the conversation around. So shout out to King Yikes and Wealthy as a mind frame. No issues, no problems. Just talking shit.
That's funny. That's funny. But so what else? Is there any other last things you want to say about this recession shit and people needing to be careful with their money and all that? You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Yeah, man. Just contact RKT Appraisal for some guidance, man. We go over everything with finances.
Facts.
And real advice and real guidance, not just gimmick stuff out here, not just trying to take your money. Because we could do that. Everybody could take somebody's money.
Right.
We actually give real advice and real guidance, man, on financial literacy, man.
Yeah, holler at RKT Appraisal because, you know, they could set you up with a brand new budget. You know, you could list your expenses and they can show you things to cut back on so you can survive the recession. You feel me? Yep. And also if you cut back and you got a little bit extra in your budget, then you could use that extra to put into your IUL life insurance policy and come out on top when you know, when the economy comes back. I'm saying, so holler at RKT Appraisals, man. RKTappraisals.com or call 973-420-5028. All right.
Yeah. All right, people. So we out of here. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.